Good morning, teacher.
Good afternoon. Let's check the time. Good afternoon,
Good
huh?
afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon all. So
Good afternoon, teacher.
today we'll be having a new approach to learning. Okay.
Good afternoon, teacher.
Good afternoon,
Okay,
Malay. Good
teacher.
afternoon. Good afternoon. So this is going to be your first augmented class for this academic year. And learning mathematics through this augmented reality is actually very interesting and exciting. So are you all ready for this class?
Yes, teacher.
Yes?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, okay. So can we start the class?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, very good. Okay, so actively participate, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's start the class, okay? So today we are going to discuss the chapter, that is chapter number 3, pair of linear equations in two variables. So in this class, first we will revise the topic that we already covered, and then we will discuss how to solve an equation reducible to a pair of linear equation through a real life example. Okay? Is it okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so then let's start the class. So, in our day-to-day life, we always come across many situations like the one given below. What is it? The cost of 1 kg of apple is twice that of orange. And the question is, how can we represent this situation algebraically? We can represent this situation algebraically with the help of a pair of linear equations in two variables. So let us consider that the cost of 1 kg of apple be rupees X and the cost of 1 kg of orange be rupees Y. Then how can we frame an equation from the given information? It is given that the cost of 1 kg of apple is twice that of orange. And what is the meaning of twice? What is the meaning of twice? Twice means two times. Yes, twice means two times. So how can we frame the equation? The equation is x is equal to 2 into y. Now what is this? What is this? This is a linear equation in two variables, isn't it? Yes? Is it a linear equation in two variables?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
teacher.
Now, Nakshatra, you tell me, what about the solution of such an equation? Tell me. Nakshatra, are you there? Nakshatra.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Here we are talking about a linear equation in two variable. Do you know how many solutions it have? A linear equation in two variable will have how many solutions? Do you know,
Many
Nakshatra?
solution.
How many? Tell. Respond.
Infinite solution.
Infinite solution.
Infinite.
Very good. So a linear equation in two variable will be having infinite number of solution, isn't it? Now one more question can I ask? Yes? Okay, so Savant, you tell me why this equation is a linear equation in two variable? Savant.
Because it has
Uh,
teacher. Because it has two x and y.
Okay, because it has two variables.
And the maximum number of and the maximum power is one.
What is the highest power? What is the one word
Highest
for that
power is
highest
one.
power? We'll use
One.
one word, another.
Linear.
The degree of the equation is yes, the degree of the equation is 1. That's why it is known as a linear equation in two variables, isn't it? And what about the graphical representation, Savant? What about the graphical representation?
It says passes through 0.
No. What type of figure you will be getting? It will passes through 0. What is the shape there?
Straight line.
It's a straight line. Correct. It's a straight line. So let's see what is the general form of a linear equation in two variables. Okay. So ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are real numbers and A and B are not both 0. This is the standard form of a linear equation in two variables. You all know that, isn't it? So as we discussed earlier, the degree of this equation is 1. It has two variables and it has infinitely many solutions. Its graphical representation is a straight line, and every point on this line is a solution of this equation. So let's see one such graph. Okay. So can you see one graph here? So
Yes,
you can
yes.
see that this is a straight line, isn't it? Yes or no? And this graph
Yes,
passed
teacher.
through infinitely many points. Can you see that? This
Yes, teacher.
this line passed through infinitely many points. So we can say that the number of solution of the equation will be, how many solutions will be it will be having? It will be having
Infinitely many
solutions since the line passes. We can easily understand, isn't it? So let's move on to another case where we'll be having two such equations. Okay, so let's read the situation that is given. Anu buys 5 pencils and 7 pens for rupees 50, whereas Manu buys 7 pencils and 5 pens for rupees 46. Okay, and the question is, how can we convert this situation into an algebraic equation? Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. So to write the algebraic representation of this particular question, we should know what is the cost of, tell me what is the cost of?
One pencil.
The cost of one pencil and the cost of one pen. So suppose X be the cost of one pencil and Y be the cost of one pen. Okay. So what is the cost of 5 pencils? Tell me.
5x.
5x will be the cost of 5 pencils, and what is the cost of 7 pens then? 7y, and it is given that together the amount is rupees 50. So how can we frame the equation? Like 5x plus 7y is equal to 50 and 7x plus 5y is equal to 46. Now what we get here? We get a pair of equation, isn't it? Instead of one linear equation in two variables, here we got two linear equations in two variables, and the two variables are same. You can see that, isn't it? Both the equations are in the same variable. So this constitute a pair of linear equations in two variables. And what about the general form? So we all know that the general form of a pair of linear equations in two variables is, what is the general form? A1x plus B1y plus C1 equal to 0, and A2x plus B2y plus C2 equal to 0, provided A1 and B1 are not both 0, A2 and B2 are not both 0, and the meaning of A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2 all should be what? All should be a real number. So this is the general form of a pair of linear equations in two variables. Is there any doubt up to this point?
No, teacher.
No. So can we move
No,
to
teacher.
the next topic?
Yes,
Okay.
teacher.
Okay.
teacher.
Now let's discuss about the solution of a pair of linear equation. Okay. So what is the meaning of solution actually? Actually, solution means the pair of values for x and y which satisfies both the equations. So here we have two linear equations in the same two variables. So the solution or the value of the variables should satisfy
Both the equations.
both the equation. That is the main thing. It should satisfy both the equation. Such values for x and y is known as the solution of the pair of equations. Okay. So now I am going to give you one value for x and y. You just note it down in your notebook and tell me whether those values are the solution. Okay. Are you ready? Yes?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
So you substitute x equal to 3 and y is equal to 5 and check whether it satisfies both the equation. Okay. X equals 3 and y equals 5. Let's start. Okay. Yes, substitute. Finished? Anyone finished?
Yes, teacher, it is correct.
Okay,
Yes, teacher, yes,
Devanandana.
teacher.
Devanandana, you finished, isn't it? Is it
Yes,
Devanandana? Okay, you tell me whether it satisfies both the equation.
Yes, teacher.
Both the equations are satisfied. Sure. Okay, let's see whether it is true or not. Okay, so when we substitute x equal to 3 and y is equal to 5, you can see that both the equations are satisfied. What is the meaning both the equations are satisfied? The left side and the right side are
Same.
same. So 5 3s
Equal.
are 15. 15 plus 35 is always equal to 50. And the second equation 7 3s are 21. 21 plus 25 is equal to 46. So we can say that this x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 5 is the solution of the given pair of linear equations.
linear
And it can
equations.
also be represented in the form of, what is that form? Ordered pair 3 5. Okay, clear?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so now let's discuss about the geometrical representation. Okay, so what is a graphical representation of a linear equation? So as we said earlier, it will represent a straight line, isn't it? So when we consider two such equations together, we'll be getting two straight lines and we are considering those two straight lines together. Okay? Yes?
Yes.
So when in a plane we have two straight lines, there will be three possibilities, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. So let's discuss what are those three possibilities. Okay, let's consider one by one.
दो लाइन
So
बनाई
what
है,
is this? You
लाइन
can see
L
that this
और
is,
लाइन
what
M.
is this? What is the name of this line? Line L and line M are intersecting.
दोनों
Can you
किसी
see
एक
the
point O
intersecting point here? So here O is the
Yes,
point
teacher.
of intersection. Yes? Can you see it? So what does that mean? You know that this
पर
L
मिलती
will
ही हैं।
pass through infinitely
इसीलिए हम
many
कहते
points
हैं यहाँ
and
पर अगर
M
वर्ड्स में
also
लिखें तो
passes through infinitely
intersecting
many points, isn't it? But
Yes,
this
teacher.
one point O is common to both these lines. Okay? So this O is
Yes.
common, is a common point of both these lines. So here, in the case of intersecting lines, the two lines will have one common point. So first case is intersecting lines. Clear? This case clear?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
And what about the second case? The two lines
दो
can
लाइंस
be
इस तरह से अगर बने,
parallel
लाइन
as seen
L
in the figure. Can you see? L and
Yes, teacher.
M. These two lines are what? These two lines are
Parallel.
parallel lines. And what is the meaning of parallel lines? They will never meet at a point, isn't it? So what is the meaning?
Yes, teacher.
The two lines have no
No common point.
common point.
No
That
common
is the
point.
thing. So here we are discussing about the common point. So here you can see that the two lines have no common point. Okay. And what about the third case? The third case is coincident lines. So what is the meaning of coincident lines? Coincident means identical lines, isn't it? So both the equations will represent the same line. Can you see? Can you see it? Yes. So these two lines are passes through the same points. All the points are common here, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
So in these three cases, we know we discussed about the different things, isn't it? First intersecting line, then parallel line, then coincident line. Now we can discuss how we can compare it with the number of solution. Okay, so let's discuss the first case of intersecting lines. So when the lines are intersecting, you can see that they will intersect at a common point, isn't it? So they have only one common point. That means the pair of equation has a unique solution. That means the pair of equation has a unique solution. So in this way, you can relate the geometrical representation and number of solution, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, what is the second case? Parallel lines, isn't it? So
Parallel
parallel
lines.
lines means what? They have no common point, isn't it?
Common points.
Since they have no common point, the pair of equations will have no solution. Very good. There will be no solution for the pair of linear equation. And when the graphical representation is coincident line, what is the meaning? All the points are common since the lines are identical. So, what is the meaning of that? The pair of equation has infinitely many solutions. Okay, clear? These three cases, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, teacher.
Now, can I ask you one question related to your previous knowledge?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so this question goes to Rashad Khan. Okay, Rashad. Rashad, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you tell me, when the pair of lines is intersecting line, what about the ratio of coefficients? What is the nature of coefficients when we take the ratio? Do you remember that point?
Teacher, for intersecting lines, right?
Yes.
Yes, teacher. That will be A by A1 by A2. Not
A1
equal
by
to
A2.
B1 by B2.
A1 by A2.
Not equal to B1 by B2.
Very good, Rashad. It is the correct answer. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2 means intersecting lines, isn't it? Yes or no? So
Yes,
now,
teacher.
Yes,
okay.
teacher.
Okay, very good. Now we can discuss more about this. Okay. Now what is this? Now, when the pair of equation has a solution, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that the pair of equations are consistent, isn't it? So, consistent and inconsistent pair of linear equations. So, what is the meaning of consistent pair? When the pair of linear equation has a solution, it is known as consistent pair of equations. So, two cases you can consider as consistent. Which are those two cases? When it has a
Unique solution.
unique solution and when it will have a infinitely many solutions. So, these two cases are consistent. Then, when the pair of linear equation have no solution, it is known as inconsistent pair of equation. Very simple, isn't it? Now, we can find the solution using different methods, isn't it? So, what are the two different methods? One is graphical method and the other is algebraic method, and we discussed three different algebraic methods. One is substitution method and the other is elimination method and the third one is
Multiplication method.
so all these things we learned about actually this pair of linear equations in two variables, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
So up to this point, I think it's clear to everyone.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, yes.
Teacher, the class is not being recorded.
It's recorded, Mola. It's recorded. Okay. So listen. Now we are going to discuss about another type of equation. Are you ready for that?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Now let's consider another situation where the given equations are not linear to start with. Okay, you can consider the example 2 by x plus 5 by y is equal to 1 by 4 and 3 by x plus 6 by y is equal to 1 by 3. So, you tell me whether these two equations are linear?
No.
No, they are not linear because they are not in the standard form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, isn't it? But we can make them linear by suitable substitution, and then we can solve this question, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Now what we are going to do is we will discuss a practical situation and we will try to solve such an equation. Before that, I want to ask you one more question related to the previous concept. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
So this question goes to Ragendu. Are you ready, Ragendu?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, in the previous class we learned that when two objects move in the same direction, what is the relative speed? Do you remember that concept, relative speed?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, what is the relative speed when two objects move in the same direction? Tell me.
X minus y.
X minus y. That means where x represents the speed of x and y represents the speed of those two objects, isn't it? And when they move in different direction, what is the relative speed? Tell me.
X plus y.
X plus y. So the concept of relative speed is very much thorough to you, isn't it? Now today we are going to discuss one more question related to relative speed. That is why I am asking. So for that, let's get into a board. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let's see this question. So can you see this question?
Yes, teacher.
Yes. So I'm going to read this question for you. Okay. So a boat goes 30 kilometer upstream and 44 kilometer downstream in 10 hours, and in 13 hours it can go 40 kilometer upstream and 55 kilometer downstream. Determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. So this is a question, and this question is also related to the relative speed. Okay, a special case. So before discussing the solution of this question, let's see a video to understand these terms clearly. Okay, are you all ready?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, so please see this video. Can you see a man here? Can you see?
yes,
Yes,
teacher.
So
teacher.
he is rowing his boat in the forward direction, isn't it? He's moving forward.
Yes,
So he's rowing his boat in the forward direction and he's moving with some speed, isn't it?
Yes.
Now you can observe that there is no stream in the water. That is, the water is still. Can you see that?
Yes, teacher.
The water is still. So the speed of the boat means actually the speed of the boat in still water. So when we say the speed of the boat, it means the speed of the boat in still water. What is the meaning of still water? There is no waves or there is no stream in the water. Okay. So this case, it's clear, isn't it?
Yes.
Now let's see another case. Let's see another case. So here also the man is moving in the forward direction, but you can see that because of stream of water, he feels some difficulty in moving forward, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
Why? Because he is moving against the stream. That is, he is moving opposite to the direction of the stream. Can you able to understand that?
Yes, teacher.
His movement, what is the motion? He is moving against the stream. So you can see that the speed of the boat actually decreases, isn't it? The speed of the boat actually
Yes, teacher.
decreases when he moves against the stream. Is it clear? Now such a motion is
Yes, teacher.
known as upstream motion. So what is this? This is what you mean by upstream motion.
Upstream.
Here you can see that the boat is in upstream motion. Okay, upstream motion, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, teacher.
So what is upstream motion? When the boat moves against the stream, that is direction is different. Okay, clear?
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
teacher.
Okay, now let's discuss the third case. Okay, so here what you can see is the man is actually moving very fast, isn't it? Why? Because his speed has increased. You can see that. Can you see?
Yes, teacher.
Why?
Yes, teacher.
Because he is moving with the stream. The direction of the stream and that of the boat are same. Can you see that?
Yes, teacher.
So what we can understand from this? When the direction of the boat and that of the stream are same, the speed of the boat actually increases. So you can now relate this with relative speed, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Do you understand this? And such a motion is known as downstream motion. So two new words we discussed today. What are those two words?
Upstream motion and
Upstream and downstream. So upstream means the boat is moving against the stream, and downstream means the boat is moving With the stream. Now let's discuss when he is in upstream motion, what is the speed? Okay, clear? So you need to listen very carefully. So let the speed of the boat in still water be x kilometer per hour. So in the beginning itself I told you, when I say the speed of the boat, it means the speed of the boat in still water. And let y be the speed of the stream. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now we discuss that when the boat moves upstream, the speed of the boat actually decreases, isn't it? The speed actually decreases. Yes or no? Yes. So what is upstream speed of the boat? So upstream speed of the boat is equal to speed of the boat minus speed of the stream. Why? Because actually the speed is decreased here, isn't it? So what is upstream speed? Speed of boat, speed of boat
Water
minus speed of stream. So in terms of x and y, it is x minus y kilometer per hour. So let me remind you one more thing. So here what is the direction? The boat is moving in the opposite direction, isn't it? Isn't it? So what is upstream speed is equal to?
X minus.
But in the previous case, when two objects move in opposite direction, what was the relative speed?
X plus y.
X plus y. That's why I told you that concept should be very much clear to you. So this is a special case. Okay, clear? Yes. Now discuss the second case when the boat is moving downstream. Okay. So what is the word meaning downstream? The boat is moving with the stream, isn't it? So again, let x be the speed of the boat and let y be the speed of the stream. So speed of the boat means what? Speed of the boat in still water. So what is this downstream speed is equal to? So you can see from the video that when he is moving downstream, the speed actually what? Increases or decreases? Increases. So we can write the downstream speed as speed of the boat, yes, speed of the boat plus speed of the
Speed of the
stream. So x plus y kilometer per hour. So now this upstream speed and downstream speed, is it clear to everyone? Yes. So upstream speed is equal to, repeat, x minus y, and downstream speed is equal to x plus y, where x and y denotes. X denotes the speed of the boat in still water and y denote the speed of the stream. Okay, clear? Now no confusion with the previously learned concept. Relative speed might. Yes, is there any confusion? No, na? No. Okay, so now let's discuss the question once again. Okay, so the what was our question? A boat goes 30 kilometer upstream and 44 kilometer downstream in 10 hours, and it can go 40 kilometer upstream and 55 kilometer downstream in 13 hours. So determine the speed of the stream and that of the boat in still water. So these two things are not. So we can start our answer from that point. Let the speed of the boat in still water be x kilometer per hour and that of the stream be y kilometer per hour. So we discussed that the speed downstream is x plus y and speed upstream is equal to what? Upstream means x minus y. So now these keywords are clear, isn't it? Yes. Now consider this case 1. Okay. So now you please listen very carefully. We are going to frame an equation from this given case. Okay, what is this case? A boat goes 30 kilometer upstream and 44 kilometer downstream in 10 hours. Okay, clear? That statement, is it clear? So what is the total time of the journey? Total time of the journey is
10 hours.
10 hours. Now let
10
me
hours.
explain this thing to you. You can divide this journey into two cases. Okay, one is his upstream journey and the other is his downstream journey. So in upstream, what is the distance covered? Tell me. Upstream, what is the distance covered? 30 kilometer. Very good. And what is the upstream speed? Tell me. Upstream speed.
X minus Y.
Very good, very good, very good. X minus y kilometer per hour. Okay. Now, distance and speed both are given, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
Can you find the time for that? What is t equals t?
Distance by speed.
Yes. T is equal to distance by speed, isn't it? T is equal to distance by speed. Now for this upstream journey, distance is 30 kilometer and speed is, what is speed?
X minus.
X minus y. So we can easily find the time taken, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
So let T1 be the time taken to go 30 kilometer upstream. Okay? Let T1 be the time taken to go 30 kilometer upstream. Then T1 is equal to what? T1 is equal to what? 30 by x minus y. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, teacher.
What is the meaning of that 30 there? 30?
Distance.
Distance covered in upstream, isn't it? And what is the meaning of this x minus y?
Speed.
Speed upstream. Oh, okay, so distance by speed gives time. So let T1 be the time taken to go 30 kilometer upstream. So similarly, can you find the time taken to go 44 kilometer downstream? Anyone, can you help me with this? So can I ask?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so Jitu, are you there, Jitu? Jitu, let T2 be the time taken to go 44 kilometer downstream. How can you find that T2, Jitu?
T2 is equal to 44 by x plus.
Yes, very good, Jitu. T2 is equal to 44 divided by x plus y. Now what is given? Total time of the journey is given as 10 hours, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
So what does that mean? What is the meaning of that? Total time of the journey means what?
T1 plus T2.
Very good, very good, very good. T1 plus T2 is equal to 10, that is given. So we can easily frame the first equation as 30 divided by x minus y plus 44 divided by x plus y is equal to 10. So this is case 1 and we frame one equation from this case 1. Then is there any doubt in this equation?
No, teacher.
No? I'm asking to everyone, is there any doubt?
No, teacher.
No? Sure? Sure? Amal Hari, do you have any doubt? Amal, are you there? Amal Hari? Is there any doubt, Amal?
No, teacher, no.
No. So with case 2, can you frame the equation when case 2 is given?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, sure. Okay. So now let's discuss this case 2. Okay. So case 2, what is case 2?
Okay.
In 13 hours, it can go 40 kilometer upstream and 55 kilometer downstream. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. So here also you consider this total time of the journey. It is given as what total time of the journey is?
13 hours.
13 hours. Now you split this journey into two journey. One is upstream journey and the other is downstream journey, and find the two timings separately as we have done earlier. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
So you can write the total time of the journey is equal to 13 hours. Okay. Now what is the time taken to go 40 kilometer upstream? Let it be T1. So all of you please try to write that T1. All of you please write what is T1.
40 by
Yes, very good. T1 is equal to, again it is distance by speed, and the distance is given as 40 kilometer and it is specified that the journey is upstream. So its speed is x minus y. So T1 is equal to what? 40 divided by
40 minus 40 by
40
x
divided
minus
by
y.
x minus y. Very good, very good. And what is the time taken to go 55 kilometer downstream? Let it be T2. Very good, very good. It is the time taken to go 55 kilometer downstream. T2 is equal to 55 divided by x plus y. Since the total time is given as 13, you can write T1 plus T2 is equal to 13, and hence our equation becomes 40 divided by x minus y. Very good. Plus 55 divided by x plus y is equal to 13. Okay? Clear?
Okay, teacher. This is clear.
Any doubt? Any doubt? Anyone? Any doubt?
No, teacher. No doubt, teacher.
Sure? 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 Yes?
Teacher, sure.
Okay, now can we solve these two equations?
Yes, teacher. Yes,
Okay, let's consider these two equations together. Okay, these are the two equations that we got. So we can see that these two equations are not linear. Okay, so for making those equations linear, we need to give proper substitution, isn't it? So let 1 by x minus y is equal to u and 1 by x plus y is equal to v. Then the two equation becomes 30u plus 44v is equal to 10 and 40u plus 55v is equal to 13. Now any doubt in this substitution?
No, teacher.
Huh? Listen, you can ask doubt if you have. No doubt?
No, teacher. No doubt.
Now what we should do? Tell me what you should do
No,
now.
teacher.
Now what we should do?
Now we can the equation.
Yes, we should solve these two equations and get the value of u and v. So let's try to solve these two equations. Okay. So these are the two equations given. So I am going to use this elimination method to solve this question. Okay. Elimination method, I think it's clear to everyone. So can you eliminate u here? Can you eliminate? For eliminating u,
Teacher, yes, teacher.
what you can do?
Yes, teacher.
Equation number 3 into 4 and equation number 4 into 3. If you do this, the coefficient of u will be same. Okay, let's see whether it will become same when you multiply this. So when you multiply equation number 3 with the number 4, you need to multiply each and every term. Don't forget to do that. So 30u into 4, 120u. 44v into 4, 176v is equal to 10 into 4. What is 10 into 4? 40. Okay. Similarly, you need to multiply equation number 4 with the number 3. So you will be getting 120u plus 165v is equal to 39. Okay, clear?
Yes, teacher. Yes, teacher.
You just check whether the coefficients of u are now same.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, they are
Yes,
same.
yes, yes.
Now, how can you eliminate u? Tell me.
By subtracting
By,
both the equations.
by subtracting the two equations. Okay, very good, very good. So, when we do subtraction, this u will get eliminated and 176v minus 165v is equal to 40 minus 39. That is 11v is equal to 1 and v is equal to 1 by 11. Clear?
Yes, teacher.
Clear. Now, actually, what is this v? Tell me, what is this v? 1 by x plus y. So, what we got is the value of 1 by?
X plus
X
1.
plus 1.
So, 1 by x plus y is equal to 1 by 11. Isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
Teacher.
So, what is x plus y is equal to?
11.
11. Clear? Clear?
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, teacher.
So, now let's find the value of u also. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, let's find the value of u. So, for finding the value of u, what we should do? You have to substitute the value of v in any of the equation, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
So,
teacher.
which equation is more comfortable here? 3 or 4?
3.
3? Okay, substituting V is equal to 1 by 11 in 3. What happened? 30u plus 44 into 1 by 11 is equal to 10. There you can cancel that 11 and 44, you will be getting 4. That is 30u plus 4 is equal to 10. And 30u is equal to what? 10 minus 4? 6. So u is equal to
6 by 30.
6 by 30, that is equal to 1 by 5, isn't it? Yes or no? So now we got the value of 1 by x minus y as 1 by 5. Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
So what is the value of x minus y?
5.
5.
So listen, here again we got two linear equations in the same two variables x and y, isn't it?
Yes, teacher.
So what are those two equations? First equation?
X plus y is equal
X plus
to
y.
X plus y is equal to 11 and the second equation is x minus y is equal to 5, isn't it? Can you solve this yourself and can you find the value of x?
elimination method.
Yes, can you solve?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, you do. You do the and find the correct answer. You do the solving part and tell me the correct answer for x and y.
Found it, teacher.
8y is 3.
Teacher, y equal to 3.
Okay, y is equal to 3. Then
X is equal to 8.
Equal to 8.
x is equal to 8 and y is equal to 3. So let's see whether that answer is correct or not. So you can see that when you add those two equations, that y variable will get eliminated and 2x is equal to 16. That means x is equal to 8. And when you substitute x is equal to 8 in the first equation, 8 plus y becomes 11. That is y is equal to 11 minus 8. That becomes 3. So what is our x? X is the speed of the boat in still water, isn't it?
Yes,
That we got as 8 km per hour and speed of the stream is.
3 kilometers.
3 kilometers.
So listen, is there any doubt in the solving part or any other part?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
Huh? No?
No, teacher.
Speed? Because of speed, is there any problem?
No, teacher.
No, teacher.
No? So you understand the concept thoroughly?
Yes, teacher.
No doubt?
Yes, teacher.
No doubt? Just like that, no
No
doubt?
doubt, teacher.
No, teacher.
No doubt.
Okay. If there is no doubt, then thank you all of you. Or if you have doubt, you can ask now itself.
Thank you, teacher.
So thank
Thank
you.
you,
If you don't have any doubt, you can exit from the class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you enjoy the class?
Thank you, teacher.
How was the class?
Teacher.
Ah,
Nice
okay.
class.
Okay. Thank you all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maklai. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.